call the Grant County Drainage Board to order June 25th, noting 3 of 5 members present. Mr. Goff and Mr. Pinkerton are absent. We do have quorum, and so we will go ahead with the process. We do not have a minutes to review and approve, so we'll go right to claims.
Okay, I have 2 new claims that come in here, and they also have to do where I put down John's Repair Service for estimates. I was going to inform the board what I'd authorize, but he went ahead and got the work done, so we got 2 bills to add to this. And there's money in the fund to pay them. The first one's Benji Hunt, $575.60 on 10-mile tile, and there's $12,869 in the fund. The second one's Grant County Treasurer, $776.31. This is General Drain Improvement Fund money to maintenance for previous loan. And then we got one from John's Repair Service for $2,200 on work on the Enoch Lee, which he's doing right now under a quote. But this was some extra work I authorized to get the dirt out of a yard, so we didn't have a lot of landscaping to do instead of yard work. And the other one was to dig out some big willow stumps that were right in the stream bed that we hadn't counted on to get rid of, and that was the one's $2,200, and the other bill is $683.50.
That's on the Enoch Lee as well?
Yes, they both are. That's all the bills today.
We don't have any divided interest. You don't have any property on Enoch Lee?
No.
Okay. All righty.
Nobody does.
Move we pay these claims presented.
Motion, Mr. Cox, second, Mr. Cates. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it is carried. We are paying our bills.
We didn't get anything from Bragg on that old soil.
Not yet. I'm surprised.
Well, they may be waiting to see if he's gonna have to put that across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Has David talked to you yet? We talked last week about, or this week about it.
No, I heard he was going to do it himself instead of hiring Bragg to do it.
Okay,
But it's on his list, I think.
okay. So we did talk to David about that, and so that should be in process somewhere or the other. I'll follow up again and make sure if he's gonna do it himself or not. Because we were gonna have Bragg do it, right?
Yeah. I was just hoping he'd pay Bragg, we could do it right now.
Okay.
We're
I'll
going
follow up on that again.
to forget about it.
The Little Crane Pond issue, the forms from 2018 we sent back. I believe that we have an updated version. We need to have it to Jim to talk about what money changes may need to happen for that. So hopefully in the next couple of sessions we'll be able to get that done and offer it to the city of Marion again. So that's on Little Crane. Is this for the Sweetser improvement, Jim?
Yes.
All right.
No, it's for Monroe.
Oh, Monroe, I'm sorry.
What you looking for, Jim?
Okay, right here they are. Be prepared.
Whichever, let's go ahead and get Sweetser improvement out of the way, and then we'll go
Well,
to Monroe.
I had told Mary previously I was going to get you guys an update on this, but I went ahead and authorized the work. We just approved to pay it.
So that's taken care of.
Yeah. It happened faster than
I like fast.
I anticipated.
So now we can talk about Monroe.
Yeah, now we have 2 quotes we took for Monroe Branch and the Taylor Branch. And we sent out 10 invitations and we only got 1 response from John's Repair Service. All the contractors are busy right now. I was hoping we'd have more responses. Monroe regulated ditch. There's the map showing the 2. This is the
M's Monroe, G's Taylor.
I'm looking for the footage here.
Oh,
The ones,
21 first. Monroe, yeah, there's Monroe, here's Monroe. Monroe, 4,400.
okay, yeah, it's for, brushing and cleaning out the creek for 4,472 feet. And, spraying all the stumps we poured on. And, quote is $43,500.
That's on the Monroe?
23,000.
43.
43,500. And the other one is the Taylor Branch is 3,044 feet.
Yep.
Also, there's some large trees out there that'll have to be cut down.
Really thick in the woods.
The one bank is 25 feet tall, so we're gonna do it on the opposite side. But the other quote is, $34,645. I couldn't tell you how many years it's been let go.
What do we have in the maintenance fund?
And on this second one for Taylor Branch, in the woods, the opposite bank is really tall, and in the quote I wrote out to clear the flat 10 feet back, and there's so many deadfalls up there that they said if they left that on the flat and just cleaned the slope, they would take 10,000 off of the bid. But there's that much up in the far side that doesn't really have to come off that they can leave. But if you want to take it out, it's going to be another 10 grand. I mean, it's
10 grand on top of that.
no, 10,000 less.
So yeah,
It'd be 24,645.
Right, if they leave that on the opposite side.
If we can get the job done, we leave it.
Is it necessary to take it out?
No. I just, in general, in the woods, try to
Clean
have
it
some
out
on
while you're
extra. It's already got the deadfalls there, just a mess. It's just, it's a jungle.
And what was the total on these funds?
There in Luger Creek, there's 137,752 at the moment, and collects another 21,000 this fall. It was approximate on the
We
21,000.
spent a lot on it last year.
With a huge watershed.
Yeah.
Luger Creek and tributaries, like 19,000 acres.
It's almost 159,000
Yeah.
people have one.
And then you got a job for Glessner to do off of that money.
7 if we leave it on the top side.
Just for that vehicle.
I'm amenable to what you gentlemen are thinking.
But he's come in as low as, a lot lower than other people sometimes, so I don't question the amount that it takes to do it. If we knock down to 110, it'd be $24,645 on the Taylor Branch. 43,500 on the Monroe. And we got other requests, we're working in other places in this same watershed for Mark Glessner to do a half mile that hadn't been brushed and dredged, so there's still gonna be some money in there.
Part of it is being sprayed. There's an expense coming out of the spray program too, but I don't have the exact numbers.
What do you want to do?
But the landowners have made this request, I'd say we approve this work.
The 34,000 or what? That 10?
Well,
Clear the top and up.
you could take 10 off of that, that'd be 24,645 on Taylor Branch. And the Monroe is 43,500. We could approve them both.
Well, but I mean, You want the 34,000 or the 24 on the Taylor Creek?
Yeah, do you wanna do the top or not?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, it would be a lot nicer in the future if some of that rolls down, but I don't think it's going to.
And when, you know, we get this other work done and the fund bounces back, we'll have a clear-cut access side that we're gonna keep clear. We could always come in and do that a little bit later in a couple seasons.
No one brings more coming, I think it's smart that we save that 10,000 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got 3 other jobs in this area, right? We're working on quotes and requests.
Entertain any motion you guys are want to put.
I move that we accept the quote for the Monroe regulated drain at 43,500 and the Taylor branch at 24,645, leaving the top 10 feet alone for now.
Have a motion, we got a second on it? Okay, any further discussion? That puts us right about 67, right at 68,000, okay?
Roughly. Make it easy.
Still gives us plenty of room for the other requests coming in. All right, all those in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. We can move forward. Other business, Jim?
Only, and I thought Mr. Chance was gonna be out by Titan Motors at 4603 South Adams, which I talked about that. He called, talked to Cindy and acted like he was gonna be here today. You know, the city let him, they put an easement through to drain the apartment complex with city sewage, and they gave him city water, but they didn't do anything about his stormwater. And if Pat was here today, Pat knows there's a high water table out there. And you know, he has his roof and his downspouts in his basement now runs to his septic tank. And I've told him that's bad, that's his whole problem. For some reason,
Next fall.
yeah, I don't imagine, and I don't think it worked, it probably didn't work
Probably didn't
before, that's why he let the city put that easement through him and hook up the city sewage. But you only got a little headspace in there, and as soon as his basement backs up and his downspouts start running through the basement wall, they're not made to take roof
Yeah.
water. So I think that's his whole problem. And I was wanting to try to talk to him about it today, but the board needs to be aware of it.
Yeah, I think last time around when we were discussing, Pat was pretty sure that any of the stormwater there is going off onto the state system and then down to the creek. So,
And Titan has put a little dike up, they've got a little earthen mound, but, you know, he says water runs around it onto the road, then runs onto his property, which the road in front of his property runs onto his property too. And I
If
asked
it runs
him,
out on the road, then the road department's gonna take care of it eventually.
in theory,
They're gonna dig a new ditch down through there.
well, I asked him,
Because they can't be on the road,
the road in
right?
front of your property also runs into your yard, because your yard's low, would you like a side ditch there? No, he didn't want a side ditch. But, you know.
What do you want us to do?
Well, I'm not for sure. You want somebody to fix
Pump
it?
the septic tank out? Be the cheapest.
Well, I mentioned when he, you know, drains the basement with a sump pump to run it out into that swampy woods out behind his house, but you'd have to have a long tube, and that wouldn't work in the winter, but something needs done. Our county tile's 515 feet away from his property, and he don't pay tax. And to get it there with the Davis, and Pat knows that area, it's already overloaded, so
Yeah.
if you put him a riser in his front yard, it's
He's
gonna
gonna be
come.
the outlet.
Yeah, it's gonna back up and cause him more damage, and then he's gonna be the last to drain, which you don't have no drainage now hardly. The board's aware of it, so it just depends on, you know, if he wants to come, we know about it now.
all right, anything else?
That's it, all I had today. All right.
I mean, it's right at 16 minutes after the hour. Gene would be impressed.
Make a motion.
We're good.
Oh, you got
Oh,
something?
you got something? All right. Gene's still impressed.
There you go. I told those guys, they're gonna need to come over to Swayze on that Taylor Creek where, what, I know there's 3 trees there. One's not big enough yet to get to the tile, but it's closer than for me to rain from the tile, and when it grows, it will. Right now is the super time
Get
to
it down.
replant it, okay? And then there's 2 big ones, Jim knows about them back there. One of them's right on top of the tile. And I don't know if we write these. I'm in a bad situation on this because I own right across the road. These people go to volunteer church and so on and so forth. But, we're gonna send a letter that in a year, when these grow back full of roots, they end up paying the bill for, or we're gonna pay it out of the drainage fund for cleaning this out again. You know, we had the people from Monticello down here, cost 32 or 3,500.
We were trying to take care of it, if I remember, with copper sulfate, weren't we?
We dumped enough copper sulfate in that I would have thought that it would keep them clean, okay? But Bragg was over there, his guy. Aaron wasn't over there much, but his guy was over there, and he took a root ball out that long, probably that thick, okay? So, you know, the copper sulfate didn't do as good as I thought it would, okay? Well, we gotta dump more. You know, we dumped 5 pounds.
I've talked to Mr. Nestor, the son, and Kenny gave him a copy of Indiana code that we provided him, and his contention is, until you prove that my trees are blocking it, I don't want my trees cut.
Right there's the proof.
Well, we fixed those spots, so right now there is no blockage. And I told him we'd be okay with the fence going up, but, you know. And then what is the easement? That house was built, I thought, maybe 97.
Something like that.
I mean, there was, going back through the minutes, we couldn't find nowhere where a variance was given.
Well,
So I don't know what the easement is.
this goes
It's originally 75 feet from center of tile, but as that got developed, I imagine nobody paid any attention.
Probably.
It just got done.
Well, in this here, tree shrubs and woody vegetation may not be planted in the right of way. Allowed, help read it, I guess.
Yeah. We know. Yeah,
Yeah.
can't be planted there
Yeah.
without permission.
And you know, the couple's 85 years old, and I don't want to be the heavy and make them cut your trees down. That's my problem. If it comes from the board, what I told Mr. Nestor, the son, is if it's pushed, then he would get a notice and attend the drainage board meeting. The board would discuss it with him, come to a conclusion. You know, the attorney would have to send him a notice that we're doing this. And he said, until we can prove that the roots are in the tile, that we don't have an obstruction.
Well, technically, we've got flow right now, right?
We got flow.
Yeah, it's working. It got
So-
fixed where the roots was. We
But
fixed
in
that.
a year, my question is, in a year from now, or whatever, who pays for having
Us.
the river come down there? Well, the guys that Monticello come in, he cut them out. And we probably hauled 9,000 gallons of water down there to dump in that ditch to wash that stuff
Yeah.
on out, okay?
Raymond's got something for us, and then I think I got a question too.
I would suggest send them a letter telling them that they have a recent history of blocking the tile. And then the next time that it gets blocked in there, that we go in there and we cut the trees off of the tile. I mean, that code that Kenny was quoting says that it can be lowered all the way down to 15 feet on each side of the tile is the minimum that it can be lowered to.
30 feet easily.
So if it's a 2 foot, you got 30, 32.
But one of them's right on the tile anyway, right?
Yes, the one definitely needs
That with it.
taken out. They shouldn't be there, but
I think that's the easiest thing for us to do right now is to send a letter and say, to this point, we have cleaned it, we have another obstruction, we will come in and remove
replace the tile new from the railroad.
The only thing better about this thing now that when Wendell was over there, he put a riser in, and then these guys come back and put another.
That way you can access it to
So
look
we've
at
got
it.
risers to go in.
See it?
Mhm.
You know, it's not like you gotta dig it up and
So
everything.
we can keep an eye on it.
You look down in the hole, see how deep the water is. I mean,
Is
And that
letter
part of the
come
code
from
says
you?
the surveyor shall remove the trees if they become an obstruction. But also says if they plant the trees with written consent of the board, they're okay. But the whole reason that she wants the trees planted is so she don't have to look at that opening and see the train and the implement place. Which I talked to the son about, you know, it'd be okay to put a fence up there if the trees wasn't there, but you know, you could put a fence up there and then it'll never break down there in that fence if it's new.
No, you know,
Why can't we make the implement company put a fence around their property like you have to do a junkyard or a,
that was there before they was there.
It's on the other
doesn't
side,
matter.
it's on the other side of the tracks, it wouldn't block the track view.
Yeah, the north side is what they don't
As far
want.
as a
Is
piece
that
of land.
technically
yard.
in there?
But see,
Their yard goes right up to the railroad right away.
I remember when I&C King farmed that, okay? That used to be Doc King's farm. And Doc sold off the west half. We ended up with that. And the east half, he sold to Roy Levengood. Well, why Roy went out there and planted a bunch of trees, I don't know what he had in mind, but Roy was a little different anyway.
They planted it right
And
where
then
this tile's
when Roy
at, right?
sold the house off, and then that guy sold that lot, but nobody ever knew, or anybody that was ever there done anything about the ditch, okay?
And there is a part in the code about it, if it becomes an obstruction because of lack of something they've done, you can send them a 10-day letter to fix it, or, you know, we can get on the property and charge them a ditch tax. His parents are paying $50 a year for the home site rate, so they are paying money into it, but I guess a new tree was just planted, right?
Yeah. They come in there the other day with 5 trees in the back to pick up,
Mhm.
you know?
Do you do that, or does the drainage board secretary need to do that to inform them that any future blockage, we will come in and remove the tree and replace tile?
I've talked to him twice on the phone and told him all this, sent him a copy of the code. Kenny's gave him a copy of the code, so they know all this. They're just,
What I'm doing is, I'm setting
They
this
want
up
those
for
trees.
next year. You have had a written letter, here's the copy. It's in
Probably
the-
needs to come from a lawyer, doesn't it?
yeah, that was my next suggestion.
Okay, do it from our lawyer. We can have that done.
I just don't want to upset his mom. She's
don't care
85,
about
Kenny. I won't
upsetting you.
pick on her because she wants these trees on her property.
But if.
That's
if they put
Taylor
a
Creek
fence-
tile, which,
Taylor Creek tile.
Taylor Creek tile.
But if they put a fence across back there with the railroad track, it'd solve
It
everything,
would. I mentioned that to,
you know?
The
But
sound.
while we got Bragg working over there, he moved the excavator out, but, you know, now's the time to get that.
And I told her son, if the board presses, you know, he'll need to have a hearing with you guys, a drainage board meeting that he sent a notice. He'll say his piece, you guys can vote on it, and then you go from there, you know. But he wants to have a right to represent himself if they're
Well,
gonna come
that's
out.
not a problem.
you know.
You know, that's not a problem, but it's just, you know, it says here, trees and shrubs may be removed by the surveyor if necessary.
I know it.
And he's got that.
Well, we
We've
will,
been doing that for
we will
years.
officially let them know through our attorney. We'll send that information and say it's on record now. Any obstruction in the future, we're coming in and doing this.
Now, you wanna let Gordon, you wanna send a letter to, I forget what the old man's name is, and Becky's, the mom, and then you wanna send a letter to Gordon, okay? Or not Gordon, but,
Michael, Mo,
Mo,
Michael Nestor.
is he their power of attorney?
huh?
Is he their power of
I'm sure
attorney?
it has to be.
He's taking care of
If
everything.
he is, you may not have to inform the,
Yeah, you don't have to inform them, just him.
and then they wouldn't have to go through the stress of knowing it.
Yeah. I'll have all that clear before Kyle releases
If,
it.
if he's the power of attorney now, if he's not the power of attorney, that's another story.
Sounds good.
If he could, I'd appreciate it if he'd email me a copy of what he's gonna send.
Yeah, I'll get the copy. We can look at it before we send it,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we can authorize it to release it.
But I mean, it's just a matter of time until this does it again.
Mhm.
And we've got, I think you said 140 acres,
145 south of
and
the
you got
railroad.
4 or 5 acres of John Deere lot,
Yep.
plus part of the south end of town coming into that. So, I mean, it's got water.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Gene's still happy with you. Michael, you're not here to discuss any,
I'm just
Drainage,
here to
right?
observe your meetings.
All right.
Sir.
Richard
Second.
was checking on you.
Second.
All right, we have motion with support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And thank you for sitting in Mary's chair today.
Oh,